everybody, Dan Illman here, taking a look at race number 5 at Assiniboia Downs on Monday. This is the second leg of the dollar pick 4. $50,000 guaranteed pool in the $1 pick 4 at Assiniboia on Monday, beginning with race number 4. This race number 5 is the second leg. Let's take a peek at this field. Really the key to this race is you have several horses coming off layoffs, and will these horses be effective off the layoff at shorter distances than they're used to? And I'm talking about a horse like the number 2 House Limit, who was last seen winning at a mile at Assiniboia Downs back in late September, and now he's coming off of a layoff and returning at a very sharp 5/8. Are they using this as a prep for something longer down the road? Will he be good enough to overcome cutting all the way back to 5/8? That's really one of the question marks of this race. We throw up the Timeform US pace projector. I'm not sure if I'm kind of down with the pace projector here. Stay Happy has a good amount of early speed. I think that he's going to go to the front. I'm not sure about that blue bar that indicates a race that would favor front runners, because the 3 Del Vecchio is far from a slow horse. I could see that horse pushing the 4 in the early portion of this race, and maybe if the 3 and the 4 get hooked up in an early battle, it's to set things up for one of the closers. But I do think the 4 and the 3 will be forwardly placed. We'll start things off with number 1 Go Start. This is another horse making his first run of the year. We have not seen him since September at Marquis Down, where he just didn't pick up his feet in an allowance race. The 3rd place finisher was sharp. He came back to win a $2,500 claimer at Century Mile with a 60 buyer speed figure, and then ran second in a $4,000 beaten claimer there with a 60 buyer speed figure. So that horse can run buyers in the low to mid 60s, and Go Start just couldn't step with him, but he did run well, going 7/8 of a mile, 2 starts back. He was very game to win that race at Marquis. Off of the layoff, it's a bit of a concern. He ran very well here last year as a late kicking sprinter. Note that performance back in June 13th. He was something like 25-1 that day, and he came with a long, sustained rally to win. It'll be interesting if he gets enough pace. He's hoping the 3 and the 4 hook up. I want to see one from Go Start, but it's worth noting he has pulled off upsets in the past. House Limit, again, is the key to this race, because here's his most recent effort. He was entered for the $15,000 tag. This is a 1 mile race, and he just was able to control the fractions. They didn't go very fast the middle part. This horse got a very nice breather. Not only does he sprint on home, he wins as much the best, and he got an 85 buyer, very respectable number. This is a horse that's been well traveled. He's raced at Aqueduct, he's raced at Churchill Downs, he's raced at Santa Anita, he's raced at Del Mar, and now he's found his home at the Downs. The question is, has he found his home and this sharp sprint going 5/8 of a mile? He has won from off the pace in the past. I don't think he has the speed of the 3 and the 4, but if he can stay close and summon up some of his back class, he should be dangerous. 4-1 on the morning line. That seems fair. The 3 is Del Vecchio. This is a horse making his seasonal debut, but he is very comfortable at 5/8 of a mile. He is a pure sprinter. We last saw him at the Century Mile going 3/4 of a mile. He got caught up in a hot pace duel that day. I'm not really sure I want to hold that race against him. The 3rd place horse came back to run second for a 12,500 waiver at Century Mile with a solid 76 buyer speed figure. This horse should show a little bit of speed in here. He's 3-1 on the morning line. Stay Happy is the number 4. This horse fits. Coming up from Turf Paradise, where he earned a 66 buyer in his most recent effort. That was his first start off with a claim, and he faced a very sharp horse. The horse that won that race came back to run second for a $20,000 tag at Turf Paradise with a 72 buyer. Stay Happy is fast, and if you believe Stay Happy is faster than the 3, there's a chance that he's going to go right to the front and just speed pop this field going 5/8. He's very comfortable at these shorter distances, and he has a recency edge over not only his main pace protagonist, but the 85 buyer speed figure horse House Limit, who's cutting back. The 5 is Monstradamus, who ran 4th last time out going a mile. He was behind House Limit that day. He was the favorite, and while you could say, hey, House Limit got away with murder up front, he was just able to walk. Well, Monstradamus was sitting right there in second, and he just didn't fire at all when called upon. He did not run back to that race 2 starts back, where he just missed in a stake with an 82 buyer speed figure. I wonder if they're using this as a prep for something longer, although he has won sprinting in the past. I just have a feeling that a horse like Monstradamus, they're going to give him a race or 2 before he comes back to his best form. The 6 is the Boss Factor. This horse is making his first start off with a claim. Interesting claim. This horse was taken out of the all-weather racing at Turfway Park in Kentucky, and he's never won on dirt. He's done his best running on synthetic, his best running on turf. He's run 8 times on dirt in his career, and it hasn't worked out. He has only been able to hit the board in a couple of those starts. Now the Boss Factor was claimed out of Turfway. Comes up to the Downs where he's going to have to run on dirt. He faced decent horses at Turfway last time out. The third horse came back to run second in a nickel starter allowance at Belterra Park on their dirt course with a 66 buyer. Gold Special is up next. This horse has a good amount of back class. He's multiple stakes placed. He's another horse that just couldn't get to house limit last time out. Maybe he was compromised by the pace of that race. There was not a lot of pace. House limit controlled it. Gold Special tried to make a run into the middle of the part of the race, and then he flattened out a little bit. I thought he was going off form towards the end of last summer. I think this break is going to do him some good. He's run well sprinting off of the layoff. If you want a horse at a back class at a price that is run well fresh, Gold Special might be the one for you. Golden Eyed is also coming off of a layoff. He was third in his most recent start. He finished behind house limit going 6 furlongs. He's actually coming into this race off of an even longer layoff. I don't mind him at 5 furlongs. He was in okay form before the break. This is the kind of horse that I think has better speed when he goes longer distances, so he might be outrun in the early portion of this race. My top selection in here, if we stay at the odds, I think house limit 4-1 on the morning line is fair. He's got to do it going 5/8 off the layoff. That's never easy, especially for a horse that's done his best running going longer. I liked what I've seen from him throughout his career. I like what I've seen from him since he's come up to the Downs. I'm going to give him a chance despite him cutting all the way back. It's Monday's 5th race at Assiniboia Downs, second leg of the big dollar pick 4 with a $50,000 guaranteed pool. Best of luck.